Competitive esports done right. Brought to you by
Take a look at that teamwork. That is what it is all about here at the Hardcore League.
They don't even see him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Holy smokes. Can he do it?
And that right there is how you dogfight, ladies and gentlemen. What a play. Tonight's matchup, girls versus boys, right here at the Hardcore League, sponsored by Gamers Community.
Hardcore League.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. That's right. It is time. We're about to jump into the burn round of this first match. And this matchup is going to be 405 versus C9. That's Clout9 versus 405th Infantry Regiment. This is going to be a 12v12 on the elite settings. And I have my man here with me, Mr. Brett FX, is going to be color commentating during this match. How you doing, Brett?
I am doing fantastic. Had a little technical difficulties, but we're sorting through it. And yeah, looking forward to this. It's been a while since I've actually been able to cast some 12v12 conquest action. So really looking forward to get back into it. And just really looking forward to this match. I love the fact that we're in a cup series, so we're going to be able to see lots of awesome matches going down. And yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Well, unfortunately for these two teams, Clout9 had some roster changes. Oh yeah, that's right. My scoreboard is incorrect. I didn't get that lined up. That was for a test earlier. We'll get that fixed right now. I appreciate you pointing that out, washed up. As we are in the burn round, that's what this is for, is to get everything set up. Then again, we also don't know what sides they're going to be on just yet, but nonetheless, it is good to get that prepared. I assume you're talking about the scoreboard washed up, so right now, there you go. Let's see that changing here in just a second. Nonetheless, getting ready to rock and roll now. C9 did have some roster problems, so we do not have all of their graphics. However, we do have the leader comparison that we're going to throw up, so you guys can see what these two teams look like as far as the leaders. And it's going to show a little bit of information on each one. It's going to show their kill death, their score per minute, their win loss, and their time. With LJ Mars taking the cake here. He's got 405 beat on almost everything except for time. 405 has the definitely has the time on him, but LJ Mars coming in strong with a 5.0 kill death, 2,000 score per minute. So it should be a pretty good matchup between these two teams. When it comes down to it. Now, these two teams are going to be playing on Prize de Tour, which is the night map, infantry, and I believe they do have tanks on there. It's our boy Bruno 2.0. For those of you that do not know, Bruno 2.0 is my son. Me and him get down on a lot of games together. I do have 3 children, and he is the one that is most in line with me when it comes to the type of games that we play. We play the same type of games most. Fresh meat. This is going to be a 12v12. And if you're just jumping in here, we'll go ahead and throw this up. This is going to be Clout9 versus 405th Infantry Regiment. Now, 405 is a very solid team. They've got a lot of matches under their belt. C9 is a newer team, and they do have some very good guns on their team. I was looking at some of their stats. They've got some really good players, so it should be a pretty good matchup. And we'll be rolling off any minute now.
You said now the map was going to be which one again?
Prize de Tour.
So no aircraft on that map, so we're going to be seeing mainly just infantry and vehicles fighting it out. Out of the two teams, who do you think is really the best in terms of the vehicle play?
Well, it depends. Again, C9's tankers, I was unable to get the stats on their tankers. I know that in fact, we do have the information for 405 tankers. We're going to go ahead and throw that up right there, rolling with a 1.7, 1.5 kill death, 900 and 500 score per minute. And both of them have a little bit of time in the tank, sitting at 123 hours and 107 hours, run by Jessman47 and Tech824 will be the tankers for 405. Now, however, we do have the top 5 players for each one of these teams here. We're gonna throw those up for you as well. You can see who their top guys are and what kits they like to run. TWD Laker coming in with this with the sub. I definitely appreciate that. And there you go. So the MVP over on 405 is going to be the leader ERW, followed by Tridactyl Coma, I Need Sleep, Jessman, and Savage the Boss. Looks like they're roll heavy assault and medics. And it looks like C9 rolls heavy assault. Jimbo Stick's going to be the MVP for their team. And some impressive kill deaths over on C9 side. You know, almost all of them are 4.1. They're Core War with an amazing 9.1 kill death. That is insane. Either he's super salty or super campy. We will find out, you know, as soon as the round rolls off. Looks like the players are joining in right now, getting ready to line up. Now I notice it's not showing their clan tags on there. That's a little weird because I know these guys run clan tags.
You're absolutely right on that one. Might be something with the a new update that they just had a little while ago. Well, that's going to be fun.
Well, again, we just noticed that they have put in team balancing into the server settings, so hopefully that will assist us today. We will keep an eye on it though. Stash Daddy saying Core War is salt. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. With that kill death, yeah, it would appear so. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. Again, just jumping in, we'll show up the top 5 lineup. These players are the top 5 players sent to us by each team. Give them a look-see there, showing their kill death and what class they play the most, what class they have the most time in. Again, we only have the tankers for 405, but we're going to go ahead and throw them up. As you can take a look at them there, Jessman and Tech 824. We do not have the tech. There are the tank graphics for C9. Nonetheless, they should be kicking this off pretty soon here. They are waiting for their players to get in for this burn round. Looks like 405 has 11 other guys in. C9 has 7. So,
you know, one of the things that I am kind of curious about is how exactly is it going to affect the infantry play with the 2.0 time to kill patch? Because I know I've just been playing on PC, but Xbox did get that patch. Am I correct?
Yeah, they did get that patch, and our alerts, the elite server settings are set at 125% on the bullet damage. So the teams are definitely going to see that.
I wonder how that's going to affect this even more so, because I know a lot of the guns, it takes now 1 bullet less in order to get those kills. So, I mean, I would imagine that if you were just a dominant infantry player before, especially if you're using submachine guns, you're going to be pretty freaking crazy good now.
Yeah. Yep.
Although I will say this, some of the medic guns have been insanely buffed by this change as well. I have seen a lot of the semi-fire medic guns just going off on the servers here recently.
See, and I'm a huge fan of the autoloader 8.25 extended, but at the same time, the new medic gun, that Fedorov, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Fedorov definitely bridges that, like, it definitely bridges that feeling of, do I play the front lines or do I sit sort of in the middle to the back of the lines in a fight? And it allows you to kind of play both of those roles really well, especially if you have a decent trigger discipline and you're able to kind of get a little bit more of a bursty fire effect with it, as opposed to just holding down the trigger. It really does fill that kind of role that Battlefield hadn't had in a Battlefield 1 anyways, hadn't had in a while with the semi-fire guns. So yeah, and again, I think that with the changes coming into with the time to kill patch, it's going to be even better now with those players. You might even be seeing that as one of the main weapons. I don't know.
Yeah, I have noticed that a lot of players are using that Fedorov since it came out. I started using it, you know, just as soon as it came out, and it was amazing.
Another gun that's gotten a massive buff is the RSC. It's now like a 2-shot kill within 75 meters or 70 meters, something like that. And I mean, it is insanely good. If you can get a guy who has a really good first shot aim. He can do a massive amount of damage, especially on a map like I can't even say it. Was it Priest do what?
Prize the tour.
Prize the tour. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I hate it when they come up with these the French names and stuff, man. It just throws me off so bad. But you know, if he can get some really good lines of sights where are going to funnel in those players, he's going to be able to really knock down a lot of those enemy soldiers.
yep.
Oh, yeah.
Asylum Storm dropping that sub. Definitely appreciate that. Be sure to make use of the new emojis that you have. We do have some hard emojis. We've got a fire, a love, and a fight emoji. So be sure to check them out. Take a look here. Also, so everybody knows, the tournament is sponsored by the very awesome Gamers Community, so be sure to check them out. I'm sure one of the mods will throw a link up in chat to Gamers Community for you guys, and they'll also throw some links up to our calendar. Crazy dropping the sub as well. The sub train is steaming up, and gotta say I like that. All right, so the round is restarted. We're gonna see these teams getting ready to go, and it looks as though when the round restarted, the auto balance kicked in, and they are on the correct side for them. Maybe not. Oh, they are. They are on the correct sides for the most part. 405 has their 12 in. They will be burning it during this burn round, and then we'll drop into the very first match. These teams did show up a little. Well, one of the teams showed up a little bit late. Normally the burn round would be going. We try to get them in 15 minutes before go time, but nonetheless, it gives us a little time to talk about the teams, throw up a little information on these going head to head. And again, when it comes to infantry, C9 is looking pretty tough compared to 405. But then again, 405 is an amazing team when it comes to teamwork and tactics. These guys work really well together. They've got some amazing squad cohesion, and they work really hard to make sure they know they've got plans, they've got backup plans, they know how they're going to play each map. So it should be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, and you don't really want to. You also have to think about the fact that if 405 coming in here with their full team that they're used to playing with, and Cloud9 is basically kind of scratching together some players at the last second, you have that teamwork aspect of being used to how players work, where they're going to usually play at, the communication aspect of knowing, you know, who's going to be the most outspoken player and how they react to pressure and how they react to when the game's going good, because players do play differently depending on how they're winning or losing. So that's all going to play a part in there. And when you have new formed teams, or at least teams that have players that are being interjected into it that aren't the normal roster, it can be some really bad moments for that team.
Yeah. Cohesion is so big, especially in large scale. You know, it's super important to have good cohesion, and because you've got several different squads working together, and those squads in turn have to work, you know, with the other squads. You know, it's not just some teams. You know, they try to roll. You know, each squad does their own thing and doesn't work with the other squad, but at the same time, you've got teams like, I know, 405. All their squads work together. They communicate together. They, you know, it's a well-oiled machine. So. Yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out once they jump into it. And as soon as they get in, we have some new team labels for our teams here that we are going to throw up as well. We'll go ahead and give you guys. Going to be looking up like that. There you go. If we would, let's get one of the mods in chat there to throw up a link to Gamers Community, our awesome sponsors, along with our partners, our streamers, our friends, and some Hardcore League info. If you want to check out the Hardcore League, you can do so. We've got all kinds of stuff going on our social media. YouTube, all of our matches go to YouTube when they're done here on Twitch. Our Facebook, our Twitter, we post a lot of stuff out, so be sure to check it out. And the burn round is underway. We're going to see 405 burn this round Then we will jump into the action. These teams are going to play 2 rounds on 1 map. The team with that wins by the most amount of tickets is going to win the map and move forward in the tournament. Also, if a mod would throw up a link to the bracket in chat so people can go see the bracket, see who is going to line up against who. What, I might actually be able to do that while we're sitting here waiting. Let's go ahead. I can do that. So it's going to look a little funny, guys. Get ready. Here it comes. Drag it over here. There you go. So we're going to see 405 facing off against C9 in the beginning. Next, we'll have Enjoy versus PT. Following that, Phoenix Elite Network versus Point Gap. And then Apex Predator Esports versus Modern Day Gaming for the 4th match in round 1. And we'll move forward from there. Again, if you guys don't already know, I am Deadeye, and I have Mr. Brett FX with me. Color commentating. And it should be a pretty good matchup. We've got a lot of people in chat. I'm seeing Fluffy Marshmallow, Top Gun Maverick. We've got Mendicant, Badgers in here, Hitman Pike, a lot of the staff. Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick is a very impressive gentleman. I don't know if you know this or not, Brett, but Top Gun Maverick is a pilot, a very good pilot. He's only got 1 arm.
That is indeed impressive.
That is insane impressive. I've seen the videos. I've seen it firsthand. It's hats off to that guy for hanging in there and continuing to do what he loves, despite the difficulties that he may face.
You know, that's the beautiful thing about gaming.
And from the looks of it, I'm looking here on the map. I'm not sure that C9 understands that this is a burn round, and they need to move off of those bases there. They should not be on the bases. So
well,
if anybody...
Sleepy was having too much fun going on his 9-0 streak over here with his Farquaad, so.
When I hear that, all I can think of is Shrek.
I know!
Right?
I
right?
said the same thing. When we were doing the white box testing and we were first looking at these guns, I told that to the developers. I was like, you know, the only thing I'm thinking about right now is the freaking Shrek, like the towers. And I was like, is he compensating for something? Ah!
Right? Right? We also have the Battlefield Granny herself, Matriarch, is in the chat. How are you doing this evening, you lovely lady, you? I hope you got your power nap out of the way and you're ready to watch some amazing competitive Battlefield here in the Hardcore League, because it is about to go down.
I could use a power nap.
Also, if we have any of the mods in chat, go ahead and send a message to Mars and let his team know to quit burning the flag. That way this doesn't take longer than it needs to. And this right here is showing the team's newness to the league here. Tell you what, we are in the burn round, so we may just... Fortunately, jacked a couple. Should they stay on these flags? We'll give them a minute to get the message. Got 2 on the flags over here. Sleepy, Gill. Checked them. I think we've got some moderators in the chat that may be doing just that, or in the server. We do have some refs and mods paying attention to what's going on. Matriarch jumping in. And that she tends to take power naps. You may not know, Brett, I was shoutcasting a community event and Matriarch was in it. And I clicked on her and she was dead when I got there. I was like, oh, she's taking a little power nap. Kind of where that came from. Which, if you're not familiar with Matriarch, she is, I believe she is 60 years old. Plays Battlefield all the time, streams all the time. And it's pretty awesome. So we are going to go ahead and eject some of these guys that are burning. That should not be. It's unfortunate.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Right? Right.
You know, I've had some experience. I know a lot of you guys watching probably don't know me from Adam, but I've been in mainly the PC community, competitive community, for a very long time for Battlefield. And back when Battlefield 3 and 4, I used to run a lot of cups myself. And it was always hilarious when you're sitting here trying to, like, Like we told you to do this in the rules. What the hell are you doing? And,
And
he's just like, guys, it's so simple. All you have to do is read, and it's right there.
I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet we will not see this happen on any other map. Again, C9 is pretty new, and our teams. That's one thing we take pride in here at the league is our teams are absolutely amazing when it comes to their organization and professionalism. And so it's actually really odd to see these teams burning these objectives during the burn round when they just Which we give our team some freedoms as far as the burn round goes. They don't just have to sit in their spawn. They can go around the outside of the bases. They can shoot at each other, make sure they're not getting any latency, anything like that. But they are required to not be on the flags. I think Dirt Jacko is also on a flag, so we will check.
Well, hopefully and I got like fingers and toes and legs and all that other kind of things crossed for the next Battlefield. Hopefully we get some better server control, and we won't really have to rely a whole lot on burn rounds.
I'm going to let you take this for a second. I will be right back.
All right. So anyways, guys, looks like he's going to be going out and dealing with a few issues at his house. Anywho's, still got his audio on. Hopefully we're going to get our match started here very, very soon. We do have a couple of guys already ejected, so maybe they're going to get the point. Looks like we do have only one flag taken. Just rip the speaker out. I love it.
Right?
I love it.
Nuts, man, nuts. That's when it goes down. Okay, so it looks like the teams are bouncing off the flags. It looks like they did get the message, which is good. So we are back in.
Oh yeah.
We're back in. Oh, who is that? Butler Boy Gaming just subscribed for 3 months. Awesome. At the $9.99, so be sure to use those subs. Maybe Cynic looking for anybody got an alt account so his dog can play. That's impressive. If you got a dog that can play, I would like to see it. Hubert jumping in. What's going on, Hubert? For those of you that don't know, Hubert is part of the collective with Briz TG, who is currently doing a 24-hour stream. You know what I'm going to do, Hubert, for you, my man, so you can throw this up in here. And for those of you that don't know, Hubert, I'm going to throw you a mod, and what I want you to do is I want you to throw a link up to Gamers Crossroads if you can. And ladies and gentlemen, what's going to be going on tomorrow at, I believe it is 3 p.m. Central Time, you're going to want to tune into the Gamers Crossroads. They do all kinds of news on games and interviews with people, and they are going to be interviewing Mr. Jeff Braddock tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. So you guys are going to want to jump over there and check those guys out. Hubert, you have admin rights, so go ahead and post up a link to Gamers Crossroads. Let them know. There it is. He's got it up there for you guys to watch. So there you go. Jump in. See Jeff Braddock with him tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. I believe it is 4 p.m. Eastern. So get a look at that. And the burn round is almost over, ladies and gentlemen. It is almost concluded. And we're going to jump into the main event.
See how much faster this goes when players actually follow the rules.
Right? It goes
Oh,
pretty
man.
quick. Goes pretty quick.
Yeah, we've had some fun stories back in the day of teams not knowing what they're doing. We had one team actually get mad because they thought that the event that we were running was a hardcore event. Now, this is back in the TWL days, so if any of you guys who play PC know TWL, then props to you. But they thought it was a hardcore event, and it wasn't. It was a regular event. And they spent like 30 minutes arguing with one of our admins and like sending us videos of how the server settings were wrong. We're like, guys, they're in the rules. It says what the style of conquest this is. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing what reading will do for you. You know.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's like It's like some people think that we just put rules out there because we like creating them. No, there's a legit reason for them there.
Somebody dropping a host. We have our notifications turned off, but we do have the audio for it on. We appreciate that host, whoever just dropped it. That is awesome. We've got Buckshot Betty in the chat as well. Welcome, Miss Amy. We've been talking to Miss Amy about possibly doing some color commentating on some PlayStation events, so make sure you give her that push. Let her know you want to see it, because we will pull her in. While we're waiting, we're going to, again, throw up the team lineups for these two teams. Their top 5 players. Another host coming in. Definitely appreciate it. I cannot see who is dropping those hosts, but nonetheless, they are coming in, so we appreciate it, whoever is dropping those hosts. And there you go. Those are the top 5 players. We're going to let them roll again for both teams, and as you can see there, C9 definitely has the kill death on their infantry. And yet another host coming in. The host train, the sub train, is steamed up and rolling down the tracks, and we definitely appreciate it. Now again, we do not have the tank graphics for C9, but we do have them for 405, so take a look at them here. Here's going to be their 2 tankers. We're going to see them go into Prize de Tour right here. This is going to be round 1 of the first map.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, dude. Bosch needs to be made admin on the server so he can get in. Alright, good luck. No problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that. We were doing some stuff in the background. These teams are going to be rolling off at the 3-minute mark. We are going to see where they're lining up. So it looks like we are going to have 405 on the blue side and C9 red side. Get those labels up correctly. There you go. 405th Infantry, C9. The scoreboard is correct. And that's right, it is Deadeye and Brett FX. Outcast in this match. These teams will be rolling off here shortly. We can see 405's lining up. We can see C9 is lining up. And it looks like they're getting some practice kills in on each other. But nonetheless, this night map, I do like it. We still got you in here, Brett?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still in.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to throw the team lineups for you guys one more time. Here you go. The top 5 players for each one. And again, C9 with some impressive kill deaths over on that side. And being how this map is heavy infantry, that is going to give them an upper hand when it comes into it. For those of you just jumping in, this is C9 versus 405, Cloud9 versus 405th Infantry Regiment. Now, I don't know if Cloud9 is a parody of Cloud9, which is a very well-known esports organization. Nonetheless, oh, and we also do have for you guys a leader comparison. Here's the leaders of the two teams. Check them out. Their kill death, their win-loss, their score per minute, and their time in game. 405 has way more time than ERW. And the 3-minute mark is off, and they are going. And C9 is going to make a heavy push to Charlie and Bravo right off the bat. We are going to see a little bit of a tank battle going off on the Bravo section. I'm going to jump over there. Not so much a tank battle as it is. Oh, it will be a tank battle. We've got a tank in the distance. It'll let me land on it. Here we go. And we're going to see Jessman in the tank. He does have a repair. Scream for a Dream's going to bail out, and they are going to start grabbing this Bravo objective. 405 coming out pretty strong. They are down a couple of tickets. They are grabbing Bravo. However, they are losing the Delta flag. We've got Gray 88 rolling the tank for C9. Jessman is pushing up. His engineer just hopping into that tank. You saw him right there. And he is going to push that tank back, but he is taking shots from the back. We're going to see Anxious and Style Toy coming in from distance. They are going to go down. Anxious is going to get dropped by Scream for Dareem. Or Scream for a Dream. But C9 has managed to grab up Charlie, Edward, and they are securing Delta. 405 is going to be making a push. We're going to jump in here with ability. He's going to be running into a contact out front. Going to drop him with a shotgun blast right to the face. Going to get a grenade out. Drops yet another one. Grabbing a 2-piece. Core War going down twice at the hands of ability as they start pushing into that Duff objective. And it looks like they are going to be grabbing the Duff objective. They're losing Bravo, but they're also grabbing the Edward flag back here on the back cap. But to counter that, we're going to see C9. We're going to see Marco Balls and Jimbo Hotsticks, the MVP for C9, grabbing up that Alpha objective. And they're looking to go for a 4-cap. We do have one player from C9 moving in. LJ Mars, the leader of C9, moving around the backside of this Delta objective. Looking to do something here. He's kind of hanging back. He's letting some backup move in. It looks like Jimbo Hotsticks did move in. Take one out. Several of them going down. And LJ Mars is going to pick up one as well. And that is going to wipe 405 off of that objective. Actually, Tech 824 is going to be in here still. He's got contacts all around him. He is going to drop one. Looking for 2. But LJ Mars comes around the corner. Picks him up with 8 health left.
And at the same time, Anxious was able to take down the tank for his team, so it does look like there are no vehicles on the map. It's all going to be infantry. Big spawn in coming in all the way in the back to over Alpha, but right now over on the B flag, massive fight going down, and it looks like we are going to be seeing, I believe that's Cloud9 being able to take a win there, just overwhelming.
No, that is actually going to be 405 in blue moving in there. Yep, taking that Bravo flag. And they managed to wipe them out. They're going to have a lot of personnel in there. 12v12, I mean, they're rolling 2, 4, 6. That's half their team on that Bravo objective. They do have Edward, and let's see, they're making a push on Alpha as well. If they can hold this Bravo flag, it might give them a 3-cap. No, they're going to lose it on that Edward side. They're going to start losing that objective, so they're going to need to make a push to Delta to try to get a 3-cap. We do have one player I can't land on. LJ Mars making a move into the Alpha objective. He's grabbed one. He's going to grab yet another one, but it's going to go down. Lavish Horse is going to take him out. So they're going to secure that Alpha flag, but they are losing their foothold. 405 is losing their foothold on Bravo. ERW, the only one left, is going to go down from Anxious right after he picks up Core War, and 405 is going to be pushed out of the Bravo objective. So C9 off to a big lead right now, 118 to 74.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and they've had absolutely nobody contesting over there on the Charlie flag, so they've basically been focusing on just the outside sites. We do have another tank coming back in for 405, so they will push. It looks like over here onto the Bravo objective. They got a couple infantry already heading there now. This is actually a really good setup, I think, right now for C9. They do have the ability to create this really strong line in the sand, as you can see right there. And they also have the potential to flood down into Delta, which they are sending a couple of troops down there. So even if they give up this B site from this tank, which I don't think is really going to happen, I think they should be able to surround it and kill it fairly easily. They will be able to shift over to that Delta flag.
Yeah, their tank is in trouble. They've got several assaults. Staltroy coming up, looking to hit the tank, and there it goes. It is going to go down. Sloke's going to take it out, get a 3-piece with an anti-tank grenade. And that is going to be devastating for 405. 405 has managed to move into the Bravo objective. Anxious is going to be moving up. He's going to come into contact with Scream for Doreen and ERW. He's actually going to anchor for his team, though. He's going to hang back, which is a smart move. He's just going to wait for some backup before he moves into the objective. They are going to start burning it. And 405 doing a pretty decent job of bouncing around the map, but they're just getting headed off at every turn. C9 does have a tank, Gray 88, rolling that tank into the Delta objective. And C9 is doing a good job of rotating their members and also covering the lanes. We're going to see that there. Ability manages to take the tank out, though, with a mine. So that is going to eliminate that tank, and 405 definitely needs that as they are currently struggling.
At this moment, though, I don't really think that tank was really the strength right now of C9. I mean, they're just everywhere right now, flooding in. They did get control over on that Bravo site. Nobody is really there to stop them there. We do see massive spawns coming in from the main of 405. They're going to try and head this off, but I mean, if you look at it right now, as they're making their way into the flag, I believe that was LJ Mars. He was able to pick up at least one, possibly two there. And I mean, it's just, they are just everywhere on top of this alpha flag, and it's going to be very tough for 405 to try and break through.
Yeah, 405 is definitely struggling. They're getting pushed into their spawn. They are about to get redlined here, and they're trying to come out. We do have one pushing up. This is going to be Scream for Doreen. I'm going to follow him. It looks like he's rolling that show shot low weight, rolling the support kit. Trying to make a move inside. He's going to run into one. Sloke is going to take him out with that Hell Regal. And 405.
Good Lord. Jesse right now is burst down so fast. He's already down to 11 health on the tank. And he's just struggling right now just to try and get some heals, and he does in a dime. Just so fast, and still with the 5 cap coming in. A little bit of a slip down at the south. We do see 1, 2, 3 players trying to get to that Delta flag, but I think the damage is already done. I mean, we're looking at a 200-point difference between these two teams right now.
Yeah, C9 has come out really, really strong, and that extremely high kill death from their players is definitely shown here as they're winning a lot of the infantry battles, and it's not just pure gun skill. They're putting themselves in good positions. They're grabbing good lanes, and you can see them here on this alpha objective. I'm in the free cam, and they are spread out across the map to ensure people don't get back behind them, and it's just really good placement. We're going to see Mr. Me Sneaks come in, but he goes down almost instantly.
You know, you're talking about the KDs. Right now, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players right now up at the double digits. We're the only one player that's ability over on the 405 side in the double digits. So they have been putting down just some massive numbers in terms of those kills, and they really haven't been giving up a whole lot. There's a lot of players that are still below 5 deaths over on the C9 side, whether that's because they're getting some really good meds going across there or whatever it may be, but they are staying alive. And I mean, it's just, they are just winning out in every facet when it's coming to these infantry fights.
We are losing objective Alpha.
Does look like Delta has gone over right now to C9 as they've completely flooded it out. 2 players are going to be left up in line for 405 to try and do something, but honestly, I think it's going to be just too little in that position. You know, honestly, right now, I think that, well, it's only 422 tickets. So, you know, maybe about 100 tickets ago, what it probably would have been better is to, instead of go just for that Delta flag, to try and wrap around and throw a couple of guys on Charlie and maybe even the main spawn of that Echo site, just to get a little bit further away and draw those players back so that it would allow them to get control of that alpha side. I mean, as of right now, they did get a pretty good burn onto A for 405, but immediately you see a counterattack coming in. They get control of that Delta site, and the infantry just swarm it, take out everybody that's on the site, and they're going to be able to power burn it. Tank is now up over there onto Alpha as well, so they're going to be able to roam around the map and get some kills. I mean, it's just overall C9 have just controlled this map phenomenally well.
Yeah, they came out super strong again, winning a lot of the infantry battles, but also placing their guys really well and allocating their soldiers to the proper bases. Currently, you know, 405 managed to break through both times. They never got pinned in their spawn. They never got spawn camped. But nonetheless, it is not doing them any favors here when it comes to winning the game.
So 98, 99, just about to cut that off to 123 tickets maybe. And yeah, that is what you say is a fantastic first round. That's one of those rounds that kind of like sets the mood for the whole day, you know, especially when you're in a cup situation. You have just a fantastic first round, fantastic first game. It really does put you in a good mood for the rest of the time. When you have those little bit of closer matches, it kind of wears you out, wears on your nerves a little bit. You're still happy, but when you have a blowout like that, man, you are feeling good.
Yeah, yep. Now 405 actually grabbing the A squad, Doc Rusty, Ability, Tech 824, grabbing those top spots. We've got the score up there so you guys know what to look for on the next round. We're going to swap up the team labels so you know who is on what side. We're going to see 405 in red. We're going to see Clout 9 in blue this go around as we jump into the next one. And we're looking at the scoreboard here. Savage the Boss 1-12, Ability doing the best on his team with 11-12. Mr. Me Seeks, Doc Rusty, Tech 9, and Cali Killa Kid all grabbing the top spots for 405. On the other side, we've got Core Wars, Styles Red, Anxious, Der Jaco, and Sleepy, along with LJ Mars, the leader, grabbing the top spots on the other side, with Sleepy not going down, rolling a 7-0. We also see Jimbo Sticks and Styles Red only going down one time as well, and that definitely did not help 405 when it comes to this round. Again, while we're waiting, we're going to throw up a little leader comparison here. Between the two leaders, ERW and LJ Mars, you can see right there their kill death score per minute, win loss, and time played, which ERW only has LJ Mars beat as far as time played by more than double, but that's in reverse on kill death for LJ Mars and ERW. Also going to throw up the top 5 for these players here, and we saw a lot of these guys on the field. Excuse me, Jimbo Sticks, Sleepy, Styles, and Core War all grabbing those top spots for C9. So we're getting ready to roll into the second round, and 405 definitely has their work cut out for them. Here we are jumping back in. The 3-minute mark is in place, so we're going to see these teams start to line up, and it looks as though, yes, the auto balance is off there. So there you have it. Rick. Caution here. There we go. Getting Bosch all set up. He was not set as an admin, so there we go. Get him in, get him set up and ready to go. And we're getting ready. These teams are lining up on the line. A little over 1 minute before these teams go into round 2. You can see there on the scoreboard where they're sitting, how they are lining up. We're going to bring up the tankers. We saw them earlier. Jessman and Tech 824, the tankers for 405. Jessman definitely struggled. The infantry, you know, and as you can see, in the players lineup, the top 5, you can see that C9 is running heavy assaults. 3 of their top players are assaults. So it's no surprise that they are apt at taking out vehicles with infantry, which is a skill that is very beneficial because, you know, you can, just because your tank goes down doesn't mean that their tank is going to devastate you if you've got good infantry that is experienced in taking down those vehicles.
And I would say that that's rings even more true on a map like this, where it really funnels those tanks down into those tight corridors where, I mean, really, the tanks shouldn't be the tip of the spear on a map like this. They should definitely be working with their infantry players, have 3 or 4 of them up in the front, try and push out and kind of clear out, and then they just basically clean up what's left. Especially when you're using like a land ship or something like that. Very, very hard to maneuver around, and plus while you do have the splash damage by the main driver, he's going to be able to do some. When he's fighting another tank, another heavy, for instance, he just doesn't have that quite the same punch. And you really need to be able, with the land ship, to be able to shift from side to side to get both of those cannons downrange as much as possible. And it's really difficult to do it on a map like that.
Well, and I'm of the opinion, you know, if I were to be leading a team on this, I would probably run one of 2 loadouts when it comes to the tanks here. I would run that land ship with the mortars, you know, and keep it back and rain fire down on these bases, like you said, rather than spearheading it. Or if I was going to spearhead it, I would roll that A7 with the flame kit on it.
Yes.
To really just, you know, blow people out on the bases and cause some serious damage. You get a couple of extra gunners in there rolling them on the sides, it's going to be really difficult to get in on that tank, set some mines and things like that. So these teams have rolled off, and we're going to see C9 come out early and grab up the 2 bases that they wanted, Charlie and Delta, and they are pushing heavy on Bravo. Even though there is a tank there, we're going to see Core War, Sloke, Style Reds, and Anxious all in the building here trying to hold on. Sloke gets above that tank, and it is going to go down. Core War taking it out with a limpet, and that is going to wipe 405 off of that, and they're just going to add a little extra and bring that A7 in there as well. So we're going to see a 4 cap early on in this round in the favor of C9, and they are making a heavy push up toward this Edward objective. We're going to see Sleepy spearheading this push. Jimbo sticks in with him. They're going to have one out front, and he is going to go down. That's going to be casualties. Picking one off from distance as well. Cali Killikid going down in the distance as well.
Yeah, this is just a fantastic dismantling of 405 right now. I mean, they are just marching down the field, kill after kill. There's absolutely nothing that 405 has to answer this. The tank is going to be providing some fantastic backup now over there next to that Echo flag. It's going to open up a little bit more, so he's going to have a little bit more freedom to get those shots down range on those infantry players, plus with the infantry help that they already has. Delta is going to be flashing, but honestly, I mean, it's a 4-to-1 flag ratio. I mean, this is just, they can give up 2 flags, possibly even 3 flags right now, and they'd be perfectly fine within this match.
Yeah, and 405 looks like they're going to abandon that Echo flag, which is a smart decision, because as you can see, we can see that C9 is rolling a death ball now. You know, they're just rolling all their players wherever they want to. And we're going to see Tech 9 running into several of them. He's going to have one right up close. Oh, but going down, that's going to be Marco Balls taking him out. And see, right now, 405 needs to get some troops onto these empty flags. They need to play a lot of flag tag now if C9 is going to roll this death ball. They need to start bouncing around. We're going to see Jess Man and Mr. Meeseeks on the backside of Charlie. They should be breaking over to Alpha, or at least up to Bravo.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. They should have at least one player going to each of these flags that they don't own. At the very least, you know, maybe one of those guys is going to be able to get a neutralize out of it, possibly get some spawns going down there and kind of bleed out. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. With this death ball kind of situation going down, you're never going to win the flag cap scenario if you're just going one flag at a time. You have to hit multiples. But then on the other side of that, you know, one of the reasons why they haven't been winning right now is because they haven't been able to win out on the infantry gunfights. And when you do that style of play where you hit multiple flags, you need to be able to defend that flag with only 1 or 2 players. And they just haven't shown that they've been able to keep up with the infantry style of C9.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. The C9 definitely, those gun skills are coming into play, and they're using them properly. 405, you know, is I've got to respect their tenacity. They're, you know, they've got back on the Alpha flag now. They're bringing their tank back in. I'm not seeing C9's tank, but, you know, like I said, honestly, they really don't need it at the moment because their infantry is more than adequate at doing what they need to do. We're going to see some mines going down, or some C4 going down from Anxious here. He's trying to bait this tank into it. But I believe the tank may have spotted the C4. Oh, he's waiting for him. Here it goes. We're going to see it. And there it is. He is going to blow that C4. It does not take the tank out. But it definitely did some damage on the tank. The tank is going to roll into the Bravo objective.
Oh, it's absolutely hurting. It's on the run right now. You have 4 guys. They know exactly what time it is. It's time to go take down some tanks. And they're going to be able to pursue it and kill it right there. As long as
there it goes, yeah.
Players that were actually in it. At the same time, C9's tank was down there over onto the Alpha side. He did kind of do a little bit of killing down there. He didn't really capture the flag. He left 1 player back. And now he's going to go ahead and retreat over to that Bravo site. But the infantry player's already taken care of it. Really doesn't have anything else to do right now, as he's just kind of trying to turn around. Okay, let's go back to A and see what else we can do. But yeah, I mean, even like I said, even before they can give up 3 flags, I think C9 would be perfectly fine right now. They're still winning out heavily onto the gunfights, each and every one. I mean, look at the kill feed. It is blue all day long, and they have just now cleared up onto the Echo site. And it looks like they have cleared up onto the small hit squad that was going over there towards the Bravo as well.
Well, and on top of that, technically, C9 has already won this match, as they have got above 122 tickets, which is where they needed to be. So, so we will see what happens when it when they roll into the next round. As a bracket plays out, it depends on who wins this next round between PT and Enjoy, which will be our next match coming up as soon as this match is over right here on the Hardcore League channel. And we will see how PT does against Enjoy, and if depending on who wins that, that's going to be who is going to face off against C9 here.
You know, looking back at the starting breakouts of this, I think I would have rather liked to have 405 going for more of a north or south heavy push, as opposed to, because what they did is they split out on both of the B and the D sides to try and cap. Instead of doing that, take your tank and your fast movers, your vehicles, and move them down into like Delta, push 1 flag, take control of that, and then flood into that Charlie site. You can kind of, by the time that you're going to be flooding in the C, you can have a couple of them break off and stop anybody pushing down from Bravo into Alpha or Echo, whichever one that you do have. That would allow them to potentially get those 3 flags. But as it was, again, they had those infantry players on Bravo and Delta to try and hold those off. They're not winning that infantry fight, so they have to win with numbers. If they can't win with skill, they got to do it with numbers, and they just were not at all in this game.
Yeah, they
We have lost objective Charlie.
definitely some struggling going on. I mean, again, we've got the top 3 players over on C9 side have not gone down. You know, they haven't died.
18 and 12, or 18 and 0, 12 and 0, and 9 and 0, doing a fantastic job. 2 of them are going to be medics as well, so they're going to be keeping their team up and alive. That is insane. Nobody is above 5 deaths.
Yep, C9 coming out really, really strong.
Wow. And it does look like you have nobody over on the 405 side that has actually got up into the double digits yet. Highest kill being calculated at 6 and 10.
And Jessman, which is odd, is their tank driver, sitting at 0 and 7, so he was unable to grab any kills in that tank. He is up now. He's got his gunners in there with him, Mr. Me Seeks, but their tank goes down. The other tank just went down yet again. This man getting taken out over on the Bravo objective.
This is kind of like what I was talking about before. You know, I'm really curious to see how that time to kill patch is going to affect these infantry players. And I think that if you were already a really good infantry versus infantry player, that this patch is just going to make you even more deadlier. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now. It's just that they're winning purely on their infantry skills alone.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And we're seeing him, you know, again, we're seeing him playing smart. Like we see Anxious here. He's anchoring in for his team, waiting for some guys to get in. They've got a lot of medics on the field. They're getting some revives done. And 405 was trying to hold off on this Delta flag, and they held for a minute, but they're getting pushed off of that objective now. We're gonna see Lavish Horse. He's got a little bit of an overview. Oh, and it's gonna go down. Jimbo Hot Sticks taking him out with that medic class, and they're still making moves. I gotta respect them. They're not giving up. They're not just saying, "Oh, we're calling it," and walking out. They're still pushing flags. They're on the Edward objective. Who do we have pushing up? LJ Mars, the leader of C9, is going to be moving up on this Charlie objective. He's got a couple of players here. We're going to see what he can do. He is going to catch one.
We have taken objective.
That's going to be Mr. Me Seeks, using those anti-tank grenades as well to try to shut him down. Grabbing another one. Jimbo Hot Sticks coming in and finishing him off. Grabbing a nice little two-piece there, and that is going to clear them off of that objective. We're also going to see their tank coming back out of deployment, heading up toward the Bravo objective. C9 is flooding that Edward objective, and they're also sending some guys back around to the Delta objective to try to head them off. We're going to be in with Style Toy, and he is going to go down almost instantly.
Another thing that I'm really interested in is the way that the squads are split up for both of the teams. So traditionally in a 12v12, even back when I was playing like on PC, you normally saw like a 4-4-4 split, or at the very least you saw like your vehicle guys all in one squad. So it may be like your tanker and your helicopter pilot or something would be in the same squad and talk to each other.
Yeah, 2-5-5.
Yeah, so like right now what you're seeing is a 3-3-3-3 split for 405, and I wonder if that may be one of the reasons why they're having so much trouble staying alive on these flags, because you only have 3 players in a squad. Not having that 4th guy to spawn in on really can affect how you're going to be able to reinforce on certain areas of the map.
We have taken objective.
Yeah, I agree. It is. It's definitely. When it comes to spawning, you're just not going to have the numbers on any given objective at any time when you're split like that. And Just Man coming up in that tank, grabbed 1 kill. Looks like he took out the enemy tank, but going down at the same time. Cali Killer Kid trying to hang in here for his team. Running into Sleepy. He is going to take him down. Or Scream. Or Darren took him down. Scream for Doreen. Oh, but getting dropped himself from the bar. Marco Balls. And this map is winding up. For those of you just jumping in here, you are here for the final moments of Clout9 versus 405th Infantry Regiment. We're going to be jumping into our next match of this tournament right after this, which is going to be Enjoy versus Prototype. Should be a pretty good matchup as we get ready to head into the next round.
23-1 for Mars, 19-1 there for Boz, 22-2 for Style Reds. I mean, they just, wow, putting the hammer down, and they did not let up one bit at all as they take that one 500 to 146. I mean, if you think about that, for the 2 matches, it was basically 1,000 tickets to about 300, a little less than 300 actually. That's insane. That is one dominant force right there.
Yeah, they definitely did not sandbag whatsoever during this match. Shadow, this is 12v12, my friend. This is 12v12 tournament we've got going on, and we are about to jump into the next match here. So we're going to get our timer back up and going for you. And we will be back here shortly with the next round. We're going to get the next set of teams lined up. I'm going to say 15 minutes. 10-15 minutes. We will be back here shortly.
Competitive esports done right. Brought to you by
Take a look at that teamwork. That is what it is all about here at the Hardcore League.
They don't even see him, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Holy smokes. Can he do it?
And that right there is how you dogfight, ladies and gentlemen. What a play. Tonight's matchup, girls versus boys, right here at the Hardcore League, sponsored by Gamers Community.
Hardcore League, the only place for large-scale competitive battlefield.